Indrid here, 3v3 faction war. This is Valderus Refinery and Orks versus Eldar, game 3. First up for the blue Orky team is Rags, no Chinkonka as a Warboss. Angry melee commander that walks through cover, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines, can be very tough. Also meets a Warlock immediately, and alongside has double Kommando knobs, Floid and XPhial. These guys are infiltrating commanders that shoot you, stab you and blow you up Orky style. There's a stun bomb for the Eldar, an unchanged team. Oh, it is a changed team. We have Illethor as a Warlock and also Adila as a Warlock. These guys are melee commanders with great disruption and mobility, can also tank damage with the right war gear. And alongside is XPhial's Eldar Farseer, support commander that fights in melee combat, great buffs and debuffs and good mobility too. 495, 500 very early on with a 2-to-1 for the Eldar team. Both of these factions went 2-to-1 in their first series. This series is currently 1-to-1, so whoever wins this game takes the very early lead in the season with 4 wins. I say again, the standings shouldn't be taken too seriously because the teams are changing between games. By that I mean the players, and I assume we're going to get at least one update by the time the season is over, so the factions themselves are going to be changing. 480, 500, there's the 1-to-1 cap, Destructor on the shooters, and the Warlock is in amongst. There's a stun bomb saving the Kommando knob from more health loss, and he does get away. Eldar doubling the east side. Here comes Floid to support. 480, 495. Orks doing well on the west side so far. This is Adila versus Rags, Warlock versus Warboss. There's a stomp, and he does get away just about. 480, 484. Sluggers trying to finish off the Banshees in retreat, but can't quite do it. Retreating units taking 30% more damage from melee attacks. There's the 2-to-1 for the Orks. Dire Avengers pushing. Do not have their aspects, but they are on the way. I think he wanted to try and hold out for a plasma grenade. Is still trying to, but decides to retreat. Just too risky, and the Warlock is still in there to put pressure on east side. Kind of forcing melee on the Dire Avengers just to stop them from firing, and shooters with their big shooters suppressing this Warlock. Can still leap at your face when he's suppressed though. 474, 476. There's the 2-to-1 cap. Rags going for looters, double shooters for all 3 Orc players. Rangers up for Illethor, did so well with them in that second game. 468, 476. The Doombringer is up for the Farseer. Can be so awesome when used with Banshees, making them even more lethal in retreat. 468, 476. Dire Avengers are gonna wipe, are they? No. Illethor also has Howling Banshees. Agile melee unit with power weapons. Now going after the node. Orcs dominant so far though with the 2-to-1 cap. Rags doing very well on the west side. Has looters who have infiltrated themselves. 468, 467. VP still very close though. Howling Banshees now in amongst some sluggers. And some good slugger usage in general, I think. Can be tough for these guys to survive and flourish with their relatively low speed and health in tier 1. They've been used reasonably well by the Orc players. This Farseer is in trouble. What is she up to? She's in retreat now. 468, 450. There's the 2-to-1 steal for the Orcs. Guardian weapon team up for XPhial. Start off with a shuriken cannon which will suppress infantry. Very good maneuverability for a setup team. They will suppress these double shooters now. There it is. 468, 440. Can he follow up with a grenade? No, he can't. Does not have the aspects up. There's the immolator again from Illethor's Warlock. Again, I mean, because he used it in both previous games, I think, at one point. Howling Banshees moving in. What can they catch in retreat? Going after shooters, I think? No. Caught in 2 mines there, didn't attack anything. 468, 415. The Eldar having their natural decaps there. Warlock now runs away. Was that shooting good? It was shooting good. Enhanced custom shooter in all 3 games from the Warboss of Rags. Nice to see. Howling Banshees running away. And there's the double cap for the Orks. Well, it's going to be a 2-to-1, I think, for the Eldar, because they're taking mid and taking a natural back. Here comes the Kommando of Floid. Comes out of infiltration, but he's not in cover. Looks like he's going for cover now, is he? No, he's going for a stun bomb throw. Doesn't do a whole lot though, nothing in the engagement to capitalise on the stun. Kowzi's Kommando back at base and idle. West side still going very well for Rags. There's a grenade on the looters though, boom, takes out a model and disrupts them of course, but he is going to keep these guys in play, which is very, very risky, and he loses the squad. That is a big engagement for Adila. Might be able to quickly decap this natural. Orks are decapping the Eldar's natural though, and Pain Boy is up for Floid. Forces off those Howling Banshees. XPhial needs to try and hold mid now. Shuriken sets up, but Pain Boy is going to tie it up. Sluggers are forced off though before he can do so. Double shooters as well with that awesome DPS they have in tier 1. Fully upgraded squads as well. Some crazy DPS with big shooters and knob leaders, but they are, I think, 45 power to get both of those upgrades. It's not a huge amount, but a good amount, we'll say. 463, 390. You have 2 squads, that's 90 power, which does put it into perspective, I suppose. Howling Banshee's running away. Pain Boy in retreat, has done very well early on for Floid. Rangers infiltrated with their Pathfinder gear, and the Warlock takes the Eldar natural, and they keep the 2-to-1 cap. Adila looks like he's not going to try and push the west side anymore, or is he? He's going back. You do need to decide as the flank player on the unnatural side when you're going to stop pushing the natural and help out mid for the 2-to-1 caps. You always need to have an eye on the natural, of course. Keep pressure on it now and then, but you don't want to spend the whole game going after it in general. You could flank here, Adila. Weird Boy is up for Rags, the first Weird Boy we've seen in the series, which is a huge surprise. Very good in all matchups, I think. There's the Warp Vomit. Starting ability of the Weird Boy also starts with Zap. The Warlock runs away. 451, 387, down goes the Warboss. Howling Banshee's in trouble though. That was a bad charge. And the Weird Boy with his awesome default ranged attack disrupts and damages all of those Dire Avengers, and there's a Zap on retreat as well. Will jump to different targets doing, I think it's 50 psychic damage each jump. 451, 375, it might be piercing damage. Well, the Kommando Knob, I should say, caught by that Guardian Weapon team at close range, but does get away. 451, 375. Going to be a 2-to-1 for the Orks, and the Warboss should be revived soon enough. The Kommando of Kowzi back at base, healing up. Shooters, these are Rags over from the west side supporting mid, and 2 fully upgraded squads for all 3 Orc players, but we do have Kowzi who's lost the Shooter Boy squad. He has a Death Dread though, walker vehicle for Orks, powerful in melee especially versus infantry. Has the burners and bits, gives it those 2 burners on the fronts and some more hit points. Sluggers trying to cap, but they'll turn to engage alongside that Death Dread, and they get their Knob Leader as well. There's the Immolate though to keep them at bay. Banshees do get away there. The Death Dread has an awesome special attack, does splash damage as well, of course, like all walkers do. Dire Avengers was sneaky and decapped the Orcs natural. There's over there throwing the Sluggers into the retreat path of the Dire Avengers. Nicely done. Can you get a model off these guys? No. 451, 341. Orcs might get a triple cap here. Stick bombs thrown in. There's the Psychic Storm, which you've seen in every game from the Farseer, and down goes the Farseer herself and the Kommando Knob. Nice plasma grenade forces off these shooters, but they did decap that wreck point. Eldar under serious pressure here. Here we see some Fire Dragons, something you don't see very often. Really cool little melter squad though. Short range, good damage to all targets. They have a speed buff as well, and it does not lower their damage any longer, but it does have a much longer cooldown. 451, 315. Warlock revives the Farseer. There's the double for the Orks though still, and lots of pressure here. Pain Boy in amongst. Almost level 2 with the stronger Git Source. That was something whacked on retreat. Was that Banshees? I think it was Illethor instantly replacing them. The Warlock just about getting away with 5 hit points. Webway gate going up in that base, which means there's another one coming up soon. Here's one. Building. 451, 271. Wraithlord is up for Adila. Looks like he's used it to force off Rags, who has switched to the Power Claw. 95 DPS. Heavy melee, which means it's effective versus all targets. We'll do half of that damage to vehicles. Melter does 75% of its damage to vehicles, I believe it is. 451, 253. Heavy melee weapons are usually doing a lot more damage than melt weapons though. Weird Boy is still around, has the bigger brains. You saw the over there earlier, and look at the damage this shoulder mounted shuriken is doing. 46 piercing DPS. It's really scary, especially since you can use guide on vehicles in elite mod with the Farseer. You can get some awesome synergy from that. 451, 233. There's a 2-to-1 cap. Shotgun is up for the Kommando. The first one we've seen in this series, which is another surprise. The high explosive shells is awesome. 451, 232. Howling Banshees chasing for Illethor. Have their X up. And Aspect of Strength lost its first squad, of course. It's a big decision to replace them. With that Death Dread around, which is hurting them. Even with their Aspect of Strength, it's always risky to send in Banshees versus a melee walker. 451, 221. Banshees here in retreat. Double Banshees, in fact. This is XPhial. Did he lose one of them? No, they both got away. Double Banshees can bleed you horrendously. I should say, but can be awesome. Wraithlord is still around now, being chased down by the Warboss, and there is use your choppers, but he's being disrupted by the Merciless Switchblade. And looks like he's wasted that ability. Is it? Hasn't got a single attack so far, and it is wasted. That's nicely done by Adila. You really need to work hard to make the Orks waste their globals and waste their War as well when they use it on their units. 451, 193. There's a double cap for the Orks. They have mid and have decapped the Eldar's natural again. So much pressure on that natural VP. Wraithlord chasing into base, now going after the Death Dread. Has way more hit points, of course. 1200 the Death Dread with 1050, and that's with its upgrade. 451, 167. Wraithlord might be overextending here. There is a rocket launcher Commando Knob who's comically chasing it around. There's the double steal. Eldar cannot get their natural back. Sluggers taking friendly fire from the weird way, which often happens. This Wraithlord goes down. Was a mistake to push it in there. Warlock runs away. The webway gate has been spotted by these sluggers. These guys level 2, or has it? No, it hasn't. Double Banshees from XPhial. Has aspects of fleetness and aspect of strength. And there's Fire Dragon. Should be able to finish off this Death Dread with this, and down it goes. 451, 111, and there's the double cap steal for the Orks. Eldar just can't get the natural back. Looks like they are going to get it now. Howling Banshees in amongst looters. This is dangerous. These are Cowsey's looters, and somehow get away, or do they? 451, 98. Looks like they are going to get chased down. No, one hit point and he stops chasing. That webway goes down. Orks are capping mid again. Eldar will take their natural, so it's going to be a 2-to-1. 451, 90. Huge VP lead for the Orks, and they're into tier 3 now. Adila looking quite thin. After losing that Wraithlord especially. Death Dread still marching around for Rags. Nice to see a bunch of Death Dreads in this series. 45182. Plasma grenade in retreat path, but doesn't quite hit. Center is blue. Banshees running away from Sluggers. Can they finish them off? Sluggers no slouch, as you can see, when they have their burners and their Knob Leader and a little bit of support. Webway Gate will go down. Why are they placing it here? Very strange place to put it. Wants to get right into the action, and Banshee's just about get out before it goes down, but now going to be under pressure. Pain Boy's there, Stick Bombers are there, Sluggers are there. This Shuriken has been caught by these shooters, which are decapping that wreck point and need to retreat. 45156, 2-to-1 cap. The Orks looking very, very strong. Just getting stronger now. A battle wagon on the way for Floid. Saw one very, very briefly at the end of the first game. Wraith Lord, this is Illethor. Tier 3 for Adila, but it might be too late for that. Stick bombs thrown in. There's the 2-to-1 cap. Bright Lance getting shots off. The Weird Boy needs to be careful with that Wraith Lord around. Has over 1,000 hit points at level 2 with whatever upgrades he has. Weird Boy needs to run away from this Wraith Lord. Rags has forgotten about him and he goes down. 45132. He will float around now and explode, which rarely has any actual impact on engagements, but it's very, very fun to see. 45127. Warlock goes down in retreat, trying to put pressure onto the Orcs natural, but Adila with just 2 units is struggling over there. He does have a D cannon on the way. Really awesome artillery unit. And this is a very risky webway push. Wow, had to retreat through a bunch of stuff. Here come user choppers, Sluggers. And down goes XPhial's Farseer sync kill from the Death Dread. Minced and thrown aside. She's going to be very, very difficult to revive all the way over there. 45123. Howling Banshee is going after the Warboss. He's getting his heavy armor though to tank them, and Ardboys is up. Not shy of using his Warboss Globals, Rags. Has seen him a lot in all 3 games. Howling Banshees just about getting away, are they? Maybe. 10 hit points. Looks like they will get away. 45117. Huge VP deficit for the Eldar to make up here. They did it in the second game, of course, and went on to win, but there's the 2-to-1, and it's going to be very difficult for them to get mid quickly enough and decap it. Gonna try though. Here come Rangers for Illethor, level 3 again. Awesome Ranger usage. There's a Rocks, which has put a stop to that offensive. No, he goes round. XPhial and Illethor trying to push. There's a 2-to-1, no, 45103, and this is a battle wagon, so there's no chance. And the Orks take the 3rd game and win the series 2-1. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Big thanks to all the players again for taking part and putting on some entertainment for you guys. I will see you next time.